Hello, hello, chat. I am here and I am visible. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well, because I am very tired, as you can probably guess from the title. But I'm undecided whether I want to, if I need to wear my glasses or not tonight. They both look good, but I haven't decided. So we'll see how long this stream goes. I know originally my plan was to do it for my average is about 3 hours, but I'm in the middle of my work week at the moment, and I have to get up for bed to be ready and out of bed in like 7 hours. So we'll see how long it takes me to call it a night. We'll see how we go. We'll see. But I am here, and we have a little bit of a plan tonight. As you, for anyone who may have seen me before, I kind of try to stick to plans when I can. Now that I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with my timing, and hence why we're on tonight. So for me, it's Friday night. For many people in Australia, it is Friday night. For people in the US and EU and UK and so on, it's probably like Friday morning or earlier. I don't actually know. I probably should keep like a chart or something for that, but I haven't. So I'm just kind of winging it a little bit. But I've been busy. I've been working. I know my schedule does say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that originally was my plan for this week. However, I chickened out on Wednesday. The anxiety got a little bit too much, but I still remained at least kind of productive towards the stream. You see, there's a little bit of kind of news / update. It's kind of hard to say, but between today and my last stream, I got a few more followers onto my account. Now, that might not sound like much. I'm not complaining, because every follower is like A+ to me, because like I couldn't really do it if I didn't have followers or people, who wanted to watch me. I probably would still talk, to be perfectly honest. But it's always nicer when it's not just me. But anyway, between now and my last stream, I had a few more followers join me. Now, as I mentioned in my last stream, I have a few different follower goals. Now, this didn't particularly cross over onto my specific follower goal, which is 20 and then 50 and blah, 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 blah. But it did tip me over 25 followers, which is another step towards being closer to being eligible for affiliate. For those who don't know, the basic qualifications for affiliate are 25 followers, streaming, I think, 3 or 4 days a month, streaming somewhere between 3 and 8 hours a month. I don't 100% remember, and averaging at least 3 average viewers over the course of these streams. Now, as of the last stream, I had achieved 2 of those, which is the quantity of streaming per month and the hours streamed per month. So that was all well and good. However, as I said before, I picked up a couple of extra followers between now and last stream, which got me to just above 25 followers. That actually got me up to 3 followers. So three out of the 4 requirements for affiliate. Now, it's still a little ways to go, because arguably the last one is the hardest one. That's why it's the last one, which is to average like about 3-ish viewers. So in the meantime, however, that got me a little bit excited. So as I was getting a little bit closer, I thought, you know what? There's a few things that getting to affiliate would entail me being able to do. Some of these I have discussed in previous streams, which is the redeems, and I have a decent list of redeems that I would like to be able to put into place. Some I've had before, some of which I've just kind of added onto my list as I thought of them. But there was also some other parts that I had not done until recently. But it got me thinking. Another factor that being affiliate can get you, emotes. Now, granted, I've only been consistently streaming for about 3 weeks. So I haven't really built up enough of what my own theme is to kind of figure out what my deal is. I've made a couple, however, not necessarily like super thematic just yet. Hello, Jinx. Welcome to my stream. A familiar face for a first-time chat. Thank you for joining me, Jinx. I was just having a little bit of a discussion of my potential affiliate plans, and the most recent one being that I've started making my own little emotes. And I've made a couple of them over the last few days. Some of them are kind of relevant to earlier in previous streams, and some of them are just because I wanted to do them, as you can probably imagine. How's your morning been? Or have you been up all night, or are you just waking up? I keep forgetting that it's like morning for you guys. Because I'm not an affiliate yet, but it's getting closer. I just need to kind of build it up. You may have been up all night again. I can't say I'm honestly that surprised, but you know, it's nothing wrong with that. If I had the option to, I would probably be up all night myself, but I have to go to work in like 7 hours. 7 hours? I don't know. I lose track of time, but I kind of need to sleep at some point. But the universe does not allow that, unfortunately. So yes, I've made a couple of emotes ready to go, and I've come up insomnia. Yeah, I can relate to that, unfortunately. I haven't got it at the moment, which I'm very glad to not be dealing with, but I can definitely relate. So hopefully that hopefully you can sleep at some point. Probably, yeah, not great to be able to not sleep for too long. But I also, with regards to the idea behind affiliate, is that I have also come up with some potential ideas for like subscriber badges, because I mean, I haven't made them yet, but I've got the ideas in my head. I just need to actually make them. Again, I'm still a little ways off hitting that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that's ideally, yeah, that's I've had a few times where I think that was actually, funnily enough, when I first restarted doing these streams. I've been on and off streaming for like 2 or 3 years, but it's been like really on and off. Like I'd stream twice and then I'd forget about it for 6 months. This most recent batch of streaming actually kind of kicked back in due to a bout of insomnia, because it was one of those things where I was just like, you know what, I'm awake and I need to be doing something because my brain won't let me sleep. And well, it was one of the few times, I guess, which you're probably already going to know who I'm talking about. But it was one of those few times where I would be finishing stream at a time where another certain Welsh streamer would be streaming, because normally that's not a time that I would be finishing anything, because usually that's when I'm waking up. And so, but I was asleep, so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stream. And I don't actually remember what I did in that stream. I think I just talked for like 4 hours. But yeah, so it's that I think was kind of the I was gonna say crux, but crux is not the right word for it. Um, it was the initial restarting of my passion to get back into streaming. So it was yeah, and I mean, on the plus side, courtesy of, I don't know if it's ADHD or autism or both or all of the above or more of the other things. I have a tendency when I hyperfixate onto a particular hobby, which that I tend to overinvest in it. So from when I first started a few years ago, I already had the equipment. So, I mean, it's nothing super fancy, but it does the job. And I mean, I've got plans for making it better, but again, I probably don't need to like overinvest just yet. I would if I could, but I have a tendency to just kind of let my ideas get ahead of me, essentially. So it's baby steps, baby steps. And so yeah, as of a few days ago, I ticked 3 of the 4 affiliate requirements. So now I've just got to build up my average, and yeah. So my goal is 3 streams a week. So far I've been averaging 1 to 2, but I've been working on almost there. Yes, I am very I was very excited. I was not expecting that little boost from the other day from between streams. That does include you as well. You are like the most recent one on my list. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And but yeah, it's my plan is 3 times a week. 2 of them at this time, which is like, so this is my Friday night. I was also planning Wednesday nights as well, but Wednesday night didn't happen this week. So had to follow. Well, I definitely appreciate the follow. Not gonna complain about that at all. But yeah, so that definitely was all a fun little boost. And so yeah, so 2 at this time of night. So it's Wednesday night and Friday night for me, but it'd be, I guess, Wednesday and Friday morning for you guys. And then the other one is like, well, for me, it's a Monday morning stream, but I think it's like a Sunday nights thing for you guys. So, I do like, it's kind of a little bit of different audiences for different things. So it's like this time of day, I am probably more likely to get people watching from Australia. Maybe not right now, because I just realized streaming on a Friday night, people might be doing things in Australia. I'm not 100% sure, but it is a time that I can make myself do stuff. So there is that. And Wednesday, because, well, I watch a few streamers, and Wednesday night for me is like one of the few nights where they're not streaming already. So I don't have to lose out on watching people. And my Monday morning / Sunday night stream, that one is, well, because, I like being able to allow more opportunities for, people who I might know in the UK and Europe, such as yourself. And yeah, so I've got those ones. I've got lots of plans for, I mean, it may be a minute, but every little bit helps, and every little bit of progress is progress. So I'm not going to jump the gun just yet, but I'm optimistic. As long as I can make myself keep like doing things and keep pushing forward, and eventually I will get back to like making clips and posting things to my socials, because I got a bunch of clips saved to my Twitch. I've just got to edit them and actually turn them into something. Because as well, that is something that I'm looking forward to. Just building that up as well. And also the fact that I was looking through some of my older clips from those previous times, and yeah, I can definitely see an improvement in both. Every small bit of progress is better than nothing. Absolutely is because I was, like I was saying, I was looking through some of my old clips because I was trying to see, you know, if it's worth keeping them. These were clips from like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, definite progress between now and then. It was I'm not surprised. Oh, excuse me. I was not surprised I was not building up much in the way of followers at that point. I was not great. If I'm being perfectly honest, I was not being particularly energetic or camera friendly, I guess, which I found very surprising. But I mean, I'm sure at the time I thought that I was, but I guess since then I've watched a lot more streams, and I've picked up a lot more in terms of how not to be, because I think I was letting my autism run the show a little bit too much in the old ones, and there was a lot of monotone in those clips, and when I was rewatching them, I was like, why did I clip this? This isn't particularly exciting or funny. I'm just going to get rid of this. We'll pretend that didn't happen. But yes, so I've cleared some of those, and now I'm making room for some new ones, and then eventually I'll get those sorted. And yeah, so it's been an eventful week. Even though I didn't stream on Wednesday, I was still doing stuff. And so it was just, I felt like I still needed to be productive. I was like, I didn't feel particularly camera ready on Wednesday night, but I was like, I still need to do stuff for the stream. I've got these ideas and I want them to be ready to go when I'm ready to go. And I mean, tonight I am a little bit more camera ready, but I am also lacking a little bit in time due to needing to, you know, sleep at some point. And I'm sure my cat is going to start yelling at me any minute because it's not far off her time for dinner, and she lets me know. Although she doesn't like it when I'm streaming. I don't think she's used to me being in this room, but she's not used to me talking in this room. So she may or may not pop in. If she does, I'll stick her on one of the, because I do also have this camera as well. If she is visible from one of these, or if she's over there, I can pop it into one of those cameras for a minute. But we'll see how friendly she's feeling in the meantime with that one. And yeah, so we've got that. And like he'll yell when he's nearing his dinner time. Yeah. Yeah, I would believe that. Lately, she's gotten very presumptive. My cat, her name officially is Mika, but I just generally call her Idiot or Monkey or various other names. And she will respond to any of those as much as she will respond to her own name, which is fair because I don't really use her name that often. Consider yep, exactly. Because I found lately, once I introduced her to like those liquid food treat sticks, she assumes anytime I'm going into the kitchen now, it's to get her one of those, and she will yell at me if she sees me going into the kitchen because she's like, well, where's my treat? You've got your treat, where's mine? And obviously I can't give her a treat every time she yells at me because she probably needs to lose a little bit of weight. I'm not being not gonna lie, she probably does need to go on a little bit of a diet. Especially, yeah, she got a lot of treats over Christmas. Probably enough treats for a little bit, but she will definitely be across the kitchen and living room. And if you make eye contact, yep. It's not even, I can hear her coming. Like, she doesn't even have to make eye contact. If she so much as hears me in the kitchen, she will yell at me from the other end of the house. And she lets herself known. An hour early, yeah, I've been getting that a lot too, actually. Like, I'll go into the kitchen just for, get my own food in there. And this will be like an hour or 2 hours before it's her time for dinner. And she'll just be like, well, I'm waiting. What are we doing here? What's happening here? This is clearly a time for food. Where's mine? And it's not quite how it works. She's not generally a big fan of changing from daylight savings to non-daylight savings either, for the same reason, because it changes her schedule. And that's the most important thing to keep to, is keeping to her schedule. But doesn't quite work like that. Hey, Lizzie, welcome back. We're doing a little bit of a complaining. Well, not complaining. We're talking about cats at the moment, and the fact that all of our cats are apparently very greedy. And it's not necessarily appropriate for them to do so. They think they own the place. They kind of do, but not really. But at the same time, it's like, they'll get their food. It's just you got to wait, and you got to... Their cats seem to like the treats. They sure do. I'm kind of regretting introducing my cat to some treats, because as soon as she found out that they were there, she yells as soon as I'm even in the vicinity of where those treats live. And that is not helpful. I was also talking about been making some stream progress, I guess is the other way of saying it, just as I've ticked a little bit closer to getting to affiliate. I'm getting closer, not quite there, but getting closer. So whilst I was planning on streaming on the Wednesday, well, for me Wednesday night, for you guys Wednesday morning, and but instead of that, I made some emotes and came up with some ideas for like subscriber badges and that sort of thing. Speaking of, like, he just sat by. He knows you're talking about him. Friends yesterday have cats every time they boil the kettle. Yeah. I think it's kind of the downside. The cats are kind of smarter than we give them credit for. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be surprised that that's what they're like. But yeah, it's they're not. They know probably more than they should, and yeah. It's both a blessing and a curse, I suppose, that they get used to a routine, but then as soon as you try and veer from that routine, they start yelling at you. I've often joked that my cat is a little bit autistic, like me, because of that, because I too am a fan of schedules and don't like things being changed on me. And granted, she can't hear me explaining why things are changing, why routines might be changing. I mean, she probably can, but she has no idea what I'm talking about. So we've got that going on there. I have debated getting another cat. I think I mentioned this in a previous stream, but it wasn't in my budget at the time. But I'm kind of trying to work out and see if I can fit one into my budget soon, because I feel like she needs a friend. Shut up and feed me. Yeah. It's and that's the thing as well. Like she'll look at me like that. She'll give me the look of, just feed me. Your food is here. Now give me mine. And then she'll take 3 bites and walk away. And I'm just like, bitch, what are you doing? You can't complain about food and then walk away as soon as it's given to you. You know what food you get. So it's just like, that's another reason I think she might be autistic. That's a very common thing with the whole, being a picky eater. And I mean, to be fair, I've just got basic food, so maybe she's just got a more refined palate. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe my cat has a more refined palate than I do. I do need to get back into cooking. At the moment, my cooking is very much just like survival level, and like I'm not baking a cake or anything in my free time. Although I kind of should. I bought a whole bunch of ingredients for like gluten-free pasta a few weeks ago, and that was about as far as my motivation got me, because all of that is currently just sitting in my cupboard ready to cook. And because as soon as I got home, I popped it into the cupboard and then I was just, I think I'm done for that. I don't think I'm going to be doing that tonight, which is a shame because it's, since I've got a fairly severe gluten allergy, it limits a lot of what I can eat. And I would like, there's only so many things that are out there that are like ready-made stuff. So I really do need to get back into like cooking, but I work full time. I have no time or energy for cooking. So it's once it goes into the cupboard, it's out of the way and out of life. Exactly. Getting used again. No, it is not. As long as I can get to it before its expiry date, we're good, but it's pasta. So it should theoretically be fine. Okay, I need to fix that. Apparently I've got links turned off in my stream elements, which is super helpful given that I've also got a link in one of my commands. Anyway, I'll fix that after stream. Gluten-free sounds less fun than optimal. Yeah, it's not fun. It's like there's either like issues with textures or flavors, and like it's it's not ideal because I mean it's not as severe as some in terms of like I can eat stuff from the same kitchen that is the gluten free that meals with gluten are made from. Like I can still eat that. It's just the fact that if I do eat something that does have gluten in it, you know, it varies from either like stomach problems to passing out or not breathing. And none of those are particularly fun. And I don't really want to roll the dice that I'm just going to get stomach problems from it. So I've kind of just had to cut it all out and start from scratch, essentially. And that's not great. I miss fast food. I miss good pizza. We don't have a lot of good gluten-free pizza option in Australia. Oh, it's not breathing bit is kind of bad. It is very, very kind of bad. In which case you're probably not gonna like this next bit. Not necessarily because of that fact specifically, but I kind of was thinking earlier, just before I started stream, because I potentially might be playing a little bit of some spooky games. Most likely, I'm thinking probably the one most recently played in my collection is No, I'm Not a Human, which is also being played because it's not overly intensive on my computer, which at the moment is very important. But that I'm also kind of tying in with, so one of my plans for potential redeem options going into affiliate and that sort of thing is, Jinx, you would probably know a very similar thing, but you know, some story times or fun facts or trivias or some things like that about me. Not good with spooky games. It's I mean, that's fair. It's kind of more creepy than necessarily spooky. But it's still like, yeah, the vibe of No, I'm Not a Human, which is the game I'm looking to play, is very off-putting. Yeah. But yeah, so with that particular redeem, obviously I can't do redeems at the moment, so I'm just kind of throwing out stories whenever I think of them. And one of those stories kind of ties into the whole spooky theme, and funnily enough, also kind of ties into the not breathing thing that I mentioned earlier. Unrelated to gluten, however. But fun fact about me is I nearly died about 5 times that I can remember. Can't do because I'm so boring. See, that's the thing. I was also a very well-behaved child, but courtesy of some mental health issues that I've encountered over the last several years, it basically made sure that every traumatic memory that I had remained fresh in my mind. So I got plenty of that. Um, that's 5 more times than you're supposed to. Yep, it is, but definitely. In my defense, only 2 of them were my faults. I won't go into too much detail about that because that's probably TOS things that I can't go into too much detail on. Let's just say depression's a bitch. Well behaved till hit 16, then went wild with drinking drugs. See, I was going to, but I like basically as soon as I went from 16, like around that age, I basically just got stuck into like a people pleasing mask, and that just kind of stuck for many years longer than it should have. And then eventually a year or 2 ago, that all shattered into a million tiny pieces. And that did not do wonders for my mental health. So since then, it's people please. Yeah, I mean, I still have to do it for my work, but since then, it's kind of a lot of people whose opinions I would have cared about prior to that, I no longer care about, like in terms of doing what I do. Got to disappear for a bit. Car things. No, that's all right. You do what you got to do, Lizzie. If you make it back while I'm still here, I'll see you then. Otherwise, hopefully, I'll see you next time I'm streaming, which will probably be for you guys Sunday night stream. But yes, you do what you got to do, and yeah, I'll be here. Quick question: basic swears loud in here? As far as I'm aware, I think I've got the auto mod set to fairly mild like settings when it comes to like swears. I think the only thing that I've got it set like to be strict on is things like, you know, bullying and racism. But swears are probably fine. But yeah, so I've not I was looking back and I was like basically got yeah. So it's but I've got the yeah, with that whole story about the nearly dying 5 times. So 2 of those depression related. That's on me. I probably can't elaborate too much for the purposes of TOS. However, there's a couple of other ones which, in hindsight, I was like, much like you said, that's more times than the average person probably should be nearly dying. So one time I nearly drowned. I think I was like 8 or 9 years old. I fell off a boat, sank like a rock. Luckily, my granddad had quick reflexes, so I didn't go too far down. But yeah, I sank like a rock and nearly drowned from that one. And ever since then, I've had a fairly bad case of thalassophobia, which is why one of my stream follower goals is to play Subnautica, and that's a little bit further. Yeah, so I thought the auto mod would let that one pass, but apparently it did not. I might have to look into that as well because of the fact that, you know, one of the auto mod things is linking to, I don't know, something, and I've apparently got links turned off, so that is not a great combination. And so I nearly drowned, which means that's why Subnautica is fairly high on my follower goals list. And because I'm just like, I've played a bit of that in the past, and like my anxiety spiked before I even left the shallows of that game. And I was like, okay, I can see that it's a good game. I would like to play more. I'm probably going to have a panic attack. So that's why when I do have that, I think I'm going to have to set up my like smartphone, my smartwatch or something to have one of those heart rate dealies going on that, because I feel like it's going to be sitting pretty high the whole time. Thalassophobia is a bitch as well. So it's I've got like coworkers and they're just like, oh, I'm going on a cruise later this year. And I'm like, cool, you could not pay me to do that. As well as the fact that cruises are just like giant germ factories. I don't think I've heard of a cruise happening which hasn't resulted in like half of the people ending up with some sort of gastrovirus. Which, funnily enough, ties into one of the other times I nearly died. I don't know if it was gastro specifically, but I had some kind of fairly severe stomach virus, and I just kept on puking for like 24 hours. Could not keep anything down, water or food or anything. And the doctors said if I hadn't called the ambulance when I did, I might have passed out and not woken up, because I would not have had the energy to actually call for help after that. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's lucky. Well, thank God I called when I did, at least. I barely remember making that call, but apparently I did. Crow was playing Subnautica and had his stream and decided to check in at the very moment he got attacked. Yeah, that's another. I was kind of, I saw a little bit of his stream when he was doing that. Luckily, he wasn't in an overly likely area to be attacked at that point. I'm kind of glad that I had to go to work at that point. Stream elements, you're going to be a pain in the butt. Stop doing that. That's unfortunate that kid. I'll have to fix that later. Almost through your phone. Yeah, when I saw that he was playing that one, I was just like, oh, I really want to support him to keep up the views. But at the same time, I don't know how actively I can watch this particular stream, because even watching him play it was making me anxious. Although, to be fair, he also has thalassophobia from nearly drowning as a kid, which I was like, that is not a great coincidence to have to share that particular part of history. Needed the stream streak. Yeah, that too. I'm not sure what mine's currently on with him, but it's getting there. Sometimes I just kind of, I joined the stream, but because usually these ones are when I'm like straight after waking up, I'm just like, I don't know if I have the energy to match what is going on in chat right now. Sometimes it usually takes me a minute before I can participate in the energy of some of those streams. And oh yes, and then but yeah, the Subnautica, like, I like that game. I don't actually know if my computer may not be good enough to stream that one. We'll have to wait and see. Like, I've set it at as a follower goal to play Subnautica, most likely with one of those heart rate monitors on there. But I will need to make sure that it works, because Subnautica is a fairly intensive game. My computer is not new. My computer's like 5 years old, so like it can run games like that, but not on like high settings. Got thalassophobia from trying to feed a seal in a safari park. I did not see that coming. That is, I mean, that'll do it. Yeah, like that'll definitely. It was yeah, I was not expecting to say that, but that actually kind of. Hello, King. Welcome. Another familiar face with a first-time chat. Lurking from work without sound, but happy to catch the first stream. No, thank you. I appreciate the visit. And you know, if you go to work, you do your work. I don't want to necessarily interrupt with that one. Funnily enough, we were just talking about Crow's stream. For anyone who might be watching that is not watching them already, we are referring to the streamer Crow Alternative and his recent stream of Subnautica. And the fact that apparently Jinx and I both had a hard time watching it due to the fact that we had issues with ocean stuff. And apparently we were on a boat and could hold out a fish for seals, just jump up to get a fish. Yeah, I could definitely see that being stressful. Actually, that kind of just reminded me. I think it was from either my last stream or the stream before that, but I was playing Never Have I Ever, and one of the things that popped up, I was just like, how often does this happen that it's been included in this list of Never Have I Ever, which was never have I ever been attacked by a dolphin. And I was just like, okay, I can't say I've ever been attacked by a dolphin, but evidently it's happened enough that they've added it to this list. So I imagine maybe that was a similar sort of situation to what was going on with your story there, Jinx. Because, Yeah, I can't say I don't actually know if I've been around a dolphin. I haven't been to a lot of places where there's been dolphins. Traumatic enough, I completely forgot until it was just brought up. Yeah, I get that. That's how a lot of these memories that I've turned into stories. How a lot of them came up, because I would just be like going about my day, and then all of a sudden, bam, trauma. um, like there's a. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining in. We've just been chatting about trauma and funny stories relating to that. Street smarts, exactly. And that kind of ties in as well, because the other time I nearly died was, I don't know, I was like 10 or something like that. My dad was a volunteer for, I don't know, something similar to RSPCA. Like he did animal rescue stuff, and because of that, like over the years, he had accumulated some interesting animals. One of those animals, well, technically two of those animals, were pythons, and they unofficially became mine and my brother's. My snake was great. He got along with everybody. My brother's snake did not. My brother got bitten many times. Luckily, it's a python, so it hurt like a bitch, but it did not actually like do any damage. But I loved my snake. I think we donated it to like one of those educational people that do. I don't know if they do the same thing in UK, where they have like people that do like traveling educational shows for like. It might just be an Australian thing because like the amount of snakes that we have, but held a ball python didn't. Yeah, that's the thing with the, like, if you don't like you expect a certain feel to them. Like I think even after the like having the one that I did for the few years that I had them, I don't think I ever got quite used to that feeling. But there was on one occasion where I perhaps let it get a little bit too friendly with me, expecting Slimy just like cold leather. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like it kind of feels like, I don't know, a dry wetness. I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's the first thing that I can describe as for this sort of thing, and it's a. That's it. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm glad that's, yeah. I'm glad that made sense. But there was one particular day when I was like, I don't know, 10. Apparently, young Ryle was prone to dying or nearly dying. But it was I perhaps let him get a little bit too friendly in one of the times that we had him out to just kind of allow him some freedom from the cage, because like I said, he was a fairly friendly one. I let him get a little bit too friendly around my neck, and luckily my dad was not too far behind. I'm pretty sure my face was a different color from when it started. From that one. I don't blame him. He was just doing what snakes do. And he didn't like put up a fight when my dad unraveled him from around my neck. But I still kind of miss that snake. He's probably dead by now, because that was when I was a very young child. But that was a cool snake. It's kind of one of those things that like animals liked me and they hated my brother. Apparently I just give animal friendly vibes, which is a good thing. That definitely helps. That's definitely helped me in a few different relationships, because the pets of those people that I was in relationship just like instantly just fell for me. So that worked in my favor. But yes, I had the snake, loved me, hated my brother. I had cats when I was a kid. Unfortunately, they had to be given away when we moved to a different place, because there was like, I don't know, issues with outdoor cats in that particular one. But my cat, super friendly, loved everyone unless you touched his tail, which is pretty fair for most cats. And my brother's cat, no, did not like to be touched at all. and which was funny because that was the child of my cat. And yeah, it's basically a case of if there was an animal that if there was an animal that could be antagonized by my brother, regardless of whether he did it intentionally, they would just instantly be like, no, stay away, you. Which I always found kind of funny. I mean, he got pets later on in his life that didn't constantly try to bite him, but growing up, animals definitely leaned more towards me. So I take that as a win, for me at least. And yeah, I mean, so theoretically, by that logic, if I were to try and confront my fear of the open ocean, theoretically, the sea creatures should like me. I know that's not how that works, but it might. I don't think I'm comfortable enough to quite put that to the test, to be perfectly honest. But it's a theory. And yeah, so it's been I've got a lot more stories for that particular redeem that, granted, like I said, I can't do anything with just yet. But it's like, looking back, despite having amnesia for a large chunk of my life, courtesy of PTSD, I've got a good chunk of things that I can kind of just pull up if I really need to. I really should do much like Hilda Sugarglider and Little Thing likes to say, wanted to burrow and hide in your hair at the back of your neck. That's cute. Oh, that is really cute. I can't say I've had that happen, but that's really cute. Oh, I kind of wish I had a story like that one. I don't think I have. I had like, yeah, I don't think I've had a story quite like that one. Like I said, animals like me, but generally not like jumping to mind, I guess, like that one. But yeah, that's really cute. And just trying to think if I did have anything back. Unfortunately, courtesy of the PTSD, the negative memories are a lot easier to pull back, or sort of pull to the front than the old ones. I was just thinking as well, I should do, because I know that Raven, for example, has mentioned that she has a list for all of her trivia, which is fair. She's got a lot of it. I should probably do the same, because much like I can just remember crap that I have long forgotten, I can forget stuff that I have known for years. So I probably should too also have an extra just kind of on hand for in case I can't think of something. But yeah, I've got a lot of things going on, and I'm just, some of them, as there, I'll give you a teaser for another one. There is a particular piece of trivia. It's pertaining to health, in that it's a story about being medically interesting. I've got a few different cases of me being medically interesting. Some I can share. One I'm saving for affiliate. Like I'm a Dr. Rat Facts and instantly forgot everything. Yet that's what I'm worried is going to happen. Because I know that it's one of those things that as soon as I sit down to write it, it's going to go. So it's got to be one of those. I should start writing them down on my phone, because at least generally speaking, my phone I have on hand whenever I need it. But my computer, obviously, I'm not always here, so that doesn't always work. But so there is a particular piece of trivia that I'm holding hostage until affiliate, because at the moment there is currently, well, I've only told this particular piece of trivia to 3 to 4 people. One of which is my doctor. The other 2 is Raven and Crow, because I when I start talking, apparently when I get anxious and start talking, I just keep yapping. and they didn't stop me. Because I kind of built up the story a little bit too much, and they were just like, "Well, you got to tell us now. You can't just leave us hanging." It is a story about a medically interesting fact about me. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's also not a good thing either. But it is a unique thing. Hence why I'm holding it hostage. I don't know if yappers are good with other yappers. Yes, I think that is part of why, like, I shared a lot of lore with Raven at MCM. I kind of lore dropped a lot on that one. And that's kind of why when I got back, I was like, so I hope all of that made sense. And yeah, so it's one of those was a fact that I haven't shared. Like, I mean, she's probably told other people. I don't really mind. I didn't swear at a confidence for it or anything like that. But I have only told directly 3 people. One of them being Raven and Crow. Although I don't think he got all of the details, unless I sent her more information later on to kind of like explain the context of what I was saying. Keep a hostage if I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna. Like, I got plenty of other trivia that I will gladly tell in the meantime. Once I can do it as a redeem, that particular piece of trivia is going on my list once I make a list, which I really should start doing at some point. Because much like how I started doing like the emotes and plans for subscription badges, I probably should have that kind of ready to go as well. And yeah, keep that kind of ready. But yeah, I've it's unfortunately, yeah, like a lot of it is some of it's random, some of it's dark. The dark ones, I don't know. That one I'm debating whether I tell the dark ones. And some of them are just weird, like this one that I'm holding hostage. So it's I like to think that they will be interesting. I've like I said, I've been able to remember a surprising amount of weird things about me. Like I said, I felt I had lived a fairly normal life for the most part, but turns out no, I was just living with a people pleaser mask for the majority of my life and had been suppressing a lot of stuff underneath that. And then once that mask broke, well, it all just came flooding out in a rush of character development. And as a I did kind of do I did one of the rice purity tests, as you probably saw on Raven's stream, for example. For someone who has lived so much of my life in a people-pleasing mask, I scored surprisingly high, I guess. It's a weird system for that one, where it's like the lower the score, the more you've done. But like, I think I was on like 27, which, given that, like I said, I've suppressed a lot of myself, and the fact that I ticked off as much as I had done doing that, I was like, oh, okay, apparently I was not repressing it as well as I thought I was. Granted, you know, I don't think I did any of like the crime ones, but the other things I did a bit of. And I was just like, wow, okay. Did not expect that. But to be fair, I was in the relationships that I had been in, I had always been, I guess, what you could describe the more adventurous, or at least attempting to be adventurous person in the relationship. And, you know, I didn't follow through, obviously, if they didn't want to, but I was the one presenting the most ideas in that regard. And evidently, yeah, I was not holding it back as much as I thought. Or at least not as well as I suspected. But yes, so apparently I've been able to do that, to pull off a few different bits of trivia. And yeah, I've got to actually, do I have my, trying to think if I've got my list handy, because I've got a few things, and like I'm trying to I guess, take inspiration from some, but not necessarily, because, you know, it's got to be me. Like, I can't just copy everyone's, because otherwise, why would people watch me if they can watch the person I've copied things from? Like, you know, got to have some things that just me. I do want to do sound alerts. I just got to figure that part out. But I don't think I can figure that out until affiliate. But I kind of want to do some of those, because I don't know, they seem kind of fun. Okay, well, while I'm doing that, here is my cat. This is Mika/idiot. She made her way to my desk, and I figured, short of trying to change the camera, I would bring her to the camera. And a lot of throwing things and saying, what six? Yeah, that's the... Okay, thank you for that. Yes, I was... Once she's settled down, I'll switch to the other camera, because I can adjust where the other camera sits, because she's got a little spot over on that side of the room. It's near a mirror, and she likes to, I think she just likes to look at herself first, like mother, like daughter. Oh no, she's gone the other direction. Never mind. So funnily enough, one of those redeems is going to, well, possibly two even, is going to be cat related. So, yeah, cat cam / you know, overhead cam. Obviously she's not here now, so the overhead cam doesn't mean anything, but because I did have the overhead cam, because one of my previous attempts at streaming, I was doing like puzzles and Legos. There's Lego up the back. The lighting kind of hides it, but there is a Lego bonsai tree that I did on the stream up there. So I had a second camera for that, and now I'm just like, I need to find a use for this camera. So it's probably going to end up being a cat camera. Although I was talking in a previous stream of like, if I somehow remember to do so, and if it works into my budget, I might grab a third camera so that I can have this camera where it's focusing on this corner, and then a third camera to focus on that corner, because like I said, that's where my cat likes to hang out a lot. But she is hard to predict when she's going to be in my room. That and another person suggested a cat treat redeem, although I suspect I may have to put a limit on that, because like I said, my cat probably doesn't need more treats, if I'm being perfectly honest. But let's see, well, we've done the fun facts. I did kind of take a little bit of inspiration from, for example, from Crow's stream. I'm probably not, because I'm not sure whether I want to do this as like a sub thing or a redeem thing, possibly both, I don't know, but I'm just as because he does his workout redeems. I don't think I'm that motivated for like full body exercising, especially given that there are times when my outfits are probably not conducive to you know, the type of exercises that he does on the stream. But what I can do is work on my core strength, get some planking going on in there, bring that back. And each redeem gets, I don't know, X amount of time for me doing that. And yeah, and so like that sort of thing, and potentially bringing in some like ASMR and that sort of thing, because like I've been told that I'm very vocally flexible, which I think is a weird way to describe it, but because I've like what I'm doing with my voice now, this is not really me affecting anything. Like I've done voice training for like feminization, that sort of thing. My voice was already kind of androgynous. I did the training. I never really like actively did it because I'm technically like gender fluid. So I like being able to just kind of go with whatever the vibe is. So I was about to try and drop my voice just down then to try and show it as an example, but I've been talking like this for too long, and at the moment my voice won't let me drop it any lower. But it did teach me some things in terms of like feminization of the voice. And so I feel like I've been getting a little bit better with that. So I feel like that would potentially work with the ASMR thing. Because like, that's a very kind of situational thing as well. Because like, not everyone loves ASMR. So obviously that redeem will kind of depend on people actually wanting to do that. So that is another potential option for that one. And so yeah, I got a whole list, and I got to figure out like channel point prices and that sort of thing for it as well. But that is a problem for later, given that, yeah, like I said, I've tipped over a few things. Special redeem for the dog to have a treat. That's a good idea. Like, I like that idea. I've just got to, I might have to figure out which kind of treats, because like I said, the liquid treats she goes mental for. And if she knows that I have a secret supply nearby in the stream room, she will, well, to be fair, she'd probably hang out in the stream room a lot more. But it's a, it's definitely like a good idea. And I kind of, one of those things where like, when I'm not streaming, she won't leave me alone in here. But as soon as I start streaming, she's like, no, I got my own business. So I feel like when I'm streaming is when people would be more likely to want her to be around. So, that, you know, look at the kitty, so on. Sorry, just a second. That was my gamer subs, because, you know, I've already had a can of Monster today. I probably shouldn't have too many. Doesn't get used often when it's nice when it does. Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good thing as well. It's one of those ones where it's like probably good to have like breaks between it, because also then I guess the pet would probably get not necessarily bored of the treats, but because I'm sure most animals would just be like, yeah, I'll take a treat. You want a monster? Yeah, I kind of already had one today, and I mean, unfortunately, my brain's kind of wired so that it doesn't actually help me keep awake. Weirdly, I don't know what it is about gamer subs, but while they're not necessarily like energizing, they do help to actually keep me awake, whereas monsters don't do it for me anymore. Damn you, Raven, for getting me back into gamer subs. Because, like, not to be a shill for her in that regard. I should ask her for commissions if I'm doing that. But, like, I've tried a couple of different types of those supplements, or not, are they supplements? I guess they're kind of supplements. And I don't know, Gamer Subs has been the only one that actually tastes nice as well as giving energy. I just realized as well, I think my brain just must have heard the word shill, and because of that, I've been talking, and this has been wearing down. What do I have here? I was like, oh my God. It's like, I swear there is more things going on that one. I'm not intentionally being a shill. It's just bad timing. Oh, it is. This is VE Cosmetics in the shade Sulfur in the matte. I did try like the gloss one in the black, but the gloss one didn't hold quite as well as the matte one does. I've got a few things from them. I actually quite like VE Cosmetics. And I think also the fact that they're like an ethical brand as well, that's also quite handy. And it was actually like a little bit annoying because just before Christmas, I bought myself a few things from VE Cosmetics, and I've generally had like a good, you knew it? Yep, that's the one. But it's, so I bought some just before Christmas, and then it got like into Australia. It went through customs, it got approval and all that sort of thing. And as soon as it got handed over to the Australian couriers, I got a notification on my tracking thing. Oh, nope, we've had an error. We're turning it back. And I'm just like, what do you mean? How do you have an error now? It's made it into the country and gotten approval from customs. it's gotten this far. What's your problem? And I had to have like a. Luckily, I will say this for them, the owner of the cosmetics apparently also runs the support desk. Because I tried getting in contact with the couriers when I had that particular issue. They never got back to me after me bugging them for like days in a row to go like, hey, why is this an issue? I've never like had issues getting from this supplier before. What's the deal now? And because like I bought from them a couple of times already, and I never heard back from the couriers. So I reached out to VE Cosmetics and I was like, hey, I'm not having any luck on my end. Can you see on your end like why this is doing that? And yeah, she was on it, and she was like, because I explained my situation, and she was like, yeah, that is weird. Let me just reach out to, our shipping people, see what's going on with that. And yeah, and she like within 24 hours, my item was back to being listed as on its way. So whoever she kicked the butt of, apparently it worked. So I was very apparent. Like that's the thing. Like even throughout this whole thing, I was not holding it against VE Cosmetics because like I bought stuff from them before and I've had no issues. But I had some words for the couriers and their lack of communication, despite their help desk saying that they responded within 24 hours. 24 hours, my ass, because I've contacted them like 3 days in a row and didn't hear a single thing back. And I was just like, I know it's getting closer to Christmas, but if you say you're going to get in contact within 24 hours, that's kind of got to stick to that. And so it was, I was not thrilled with them, but I do not hold that against VE Cosmetics because they make good stuff. And when I find the stuff that works for me, then I plan to keep going on with those because I've got a couple of different ones. I've got sort of these, I've got some lip stains, which I quite like as well. And I don't think I have any eyeshadows. I haven't figured out if I like eyeshadows or not. The way that my eyes are, like eyeshadow's barely visible on me anyway, so it's probably a waste. And so maybe not spending too much of my money on that one, but it's that's probably enough shilling for me. I'm not getting paid for it. Like I said, I should reach out to Ray and just go, hey, I'm selling stuff on your behalf. Can I get a commission off you for your commission? I know that's not how that works. I don't really care. But it's one of those things where it's like I find stuff that works and I tend to not shut up about it, apparently. And this is kind of unrelated to that, but just because I've, as you can hear, I've got some music going, and my plan is eventually to have that more interactive, like a few of the other streamers that both of us follow. At the moment, however, I've built up my own little stream playlist with that whole I may or may not be using the split audio to be playing music that may or may not be allowed on Twitch, but it's cool. Don't worry about it. But yeah, my plan is to do eventually, like allowing people to add their own things to it. But I figure I might wait until I have my average a little bit higher up, because like that way it allows for a little bit more variety. I mean, not to say that my current list doesn't have variety to it, given that there's like I've basically got every genre on this playlist in some way, shape, or form. So it's a little bit of everything for everyone. I'm hoping. If I get someone who really, really, really wants a Lazy, just use your Spotify. See, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing with mine. I've just got well, I got Apple Music on mine just because I never got on to Spotify, but it's yeah, I've had Apple Music. Like when I had an iPhone many years ago, and it came with free Apple Music, and then like I built up my collection through that, and ever since then I was like, well, if I go to Spotify, I have to rebuild my collection, and I'm too lazy for that. So I'm just going to keep using the collection that I've already got, and it's just kind of continued. But given that I'm not entirely sure how I managed to get my stream playlist this long, apparently my stream playlist is about 15 hours long. Given that I don't plan on doing a stream for that long, I think I'm good for repetitiveness, at least during any given stream. I'm not entirely sure how I got that list that long. That is a lot of music. That's plenty. I sure hope so. I don't plan on doing any like 24-hour subathons anytime soon. Again, given that I can't also do subs at the moment, it's kind of pointless if I was to do a subathon. But it's yeah, and I keep finding more stuff to it, like because eventually I've got my playlists, and then eventually once I run through my existing lists, they start playing stuff that I haven't been playing already, and so that introduces me to new songs, and then I end up adding those new songs to the playlist as well, and then the circle continues. But yeah, that 15 hours, that's just the stream playlist. I don't actually know how much is in my total collection playlist. Probably a lot more. I feel like I skip a lot of them though. In to be fair, it's I'm probably not listening to all of those songs. Sorry. But yeah, it's a lot of music, but I think it's enough variety that if someone doesn't like one song, they just have to stick around for the next song, and it'll probably be a completely different genre. So we've got that. And oh, it's just as a little sneak peek. So as I mentioned before, I made a couple of emotes, and one of those I drew. I'm going to save that one for when I actually need it. But there was another one which I screen captured from one of my streams. Don't know if you saw, but in my last stream, I did as a general playlist of about 14 hours. Yeah, seems to be a pretty good length. So on my last stream, I hit my first follower goal, which was 20 followers. No, sorry, the stream before that. The last stream was the challenge that I set for myself for that particular one, which was to eat a lemon. I've got a few unpleasant eating challenges on there. I'm not entirely sure why I picked those ones, but I'm hoping that they're as entertaining to the viewers as they are unpleasant to me. So I just, but I started with eating a lemon because I was just like, that seems like something that could be entertaining. So I'm just trying to find, I really need to like streamline where I save stuff. But I made an emote, this one right there. I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory given the, so I've just called this one cringe. I figure given that like realistically it's gonna be like that big in chat, I feel like it's probably, I feel like the face says a lot. That was I believe just after the lemon eating. Had to eat a raw parsnip because you made a bits goal. Interesting. Oh, I keep forgetting that bits get goals as well. I should probably look into that too, because I did not take that into consideration. A raw parsnip though. What is that like? I don't actually know if I've ever eaten a parsnip. It doesn't sound fun, but I suppose that is part of the point of a challenge, is to do things that may not necessarily be super fun or pleasant for the person doing it anyway. Hate parsnips? Yeah, I get that. I've not heard a lot of good things about parsnips. How big are they? Like, I mean, I could look it up later, but I'm just kind of curious on that one now, because I'm trying to think in terms of like what you set yourself up for with that one, because it's the parsnips, right? Okay. I'm just trying to think if we even have parsnips over here. Do a wheel spin for Biddy's goals met and various things on there. Oh yeah, that makes sense. About the size of a carrot. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I know. Oh, apparently we do have parsnips here. I guess just the fact that I've never wanted to try one before means that I've never looked for one. But apparently we do have parsnips here. They do not look overly appealing, so I get why you would set that as a challenge. But yeah, so I did the same sort of thing with a lemon. My initial plan was to perhaps set one as my original plan was to like eat a lemon like an apple. Turns out the skin of a lemon is a lot harder to get through than that. So that particular plan didn't work. But I ate as much of the inside of the lemon that I could, and I don't know if it was I don't know if it was ripe enough. If I'm being perfectly honest, it was very zesty, kind of just nasty. Yeah, parsnips do not look like the most appetizing of foods. But yeah, I've set a few food-based challenges. I figured the lemon was a simple one that I didn't really need a lot of prep for, given that it was like the first thing on my followers goal, that I was just like, I don't need to go too crazy with it. I think somewhere along the lines there, I've got a bean boozled one, because apparently we have those around where I live as well. I was like, oh, well, that seems like a suitable challenge / punishment potentially. And so I have those for at some point in my follower goal. And then much further along, I think it's somewhere between the Subnautica stream and the French Maid stream. I think I've just written down, I'm going to eat something nasty. Because to be honest, the lemon, whilst very zesty and zingy and probably not something I'm going to make a habit of doing in my regular life, it wasn't terrible. It was just very potent. I've definitely eaten some worse things. For example, during a period of unemployment, I got bored and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do an experiment to see what I can blend with Vegemite. My wheel has things like Bean Boozled, 10 squats an hour, 10 push-up an hour, 8 hours. That's a good idea. I like that. I should probably look into something like that as well. As again, I'm probably not going to need that for a while, but that is good to know, actually. But yeah, with regards to the terrible food thing, I got bored and I had Vegemite. I don't know if you've ever had Vegemite. It is a very tart. It's basically like Marmite, but more savory, I guess, if that makes sense. It's been a bit since I've compared the two. But with that, some of the things I combined it with actually worked quite well. Apparently, the Vegemite actually works quite well with smoked tuna, because apparently the saltiness just kind of blends with it. You know what Vegemite doesn't blend with? Yogurt. That is not a great combination. That is definitely worse than the lemon. It's a good idea until you've done 50 squats and your thighs are shaking. Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case. It has been a minute since I have done squats. It's one of those exercises, like most of my exercise focuses more on like cardio. And I've kind of gotten a little bit lazy with that because I'm on my feet a lot for work. So I kind of get a little bit lazy with doing external exercise. And yeah, so I can definitely see 50 squats would definitely, you'd be feeling it. I know I would be feeling it, especially, yeah, given that I have not done squats in a while. But yeah, it's so I don't know what my last what my eat something nasty challenge is going to entail. Depending on how many people I have watching at the time, I might even get viewer input on that one, within reason, because obviously, you know, you can't have gluten. Thighs hurt so much the next day. Oh, I'll bet. I've had a few times where it's just like I know I've overworked my muscles when the next day I've basically every movement hurts. The next day, like my legs were like jelly for a lot longer than I would like. I don't know if it was from squats specifically. It may potentially have been from doing weights. Actually, what are they called? No, actually, that was squats. It was, I don't know what the official term was, but it was like weighted split squats. And yeah, I was feeling that the next day. My legs were very shaky for a while. And I was like, okay, apparently that's my limit. And given that I still have to go to work, I can't have my legs being broken, essentially, the next day. But yeah, so it's so I've got a lot of plans for these sorts of things. I'm trying to get back to being more consistent. It sounds awful. Yeah, it was not fun. Like it definitely works the muscles, and it's kind of a full body workout, I think, on that one. It's great for the thighs if you want to if you want to work on the thighs, because like I definitely saw some growth from doing that. But it was, yeah, it, especially when you're doing it with like a barbell on the back there. Yeah, that does not take long for that to become too much. I think well, it's been a while since I've been that too. Like I said, I've been a bit lazy. But it's that weight adds up very quickly and leads to some very sore legs. But I just realized I've been talking for about an hour and a half, and given that it's at some point I need to go to bed, I should probably play a game at some point. They eat anything else? Say any raw veggies are good. Yeah, I'd say that raw veggies are definitely a good option for eating awful things. Because like there's only a few raw vegetables that I've tried that like they taste good by themselves, and that is fresh carrots and fresh broccoli, because like they both have kind of a bit of a good kind of crunch and a bit of flavor to them, but they're not. It's like when you cook, weirdly, like annoyingly though, once you cook them, they lose a lot of that, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, things like parsnips and leeks and that sort of thing, and I'm just like, the fact that they lose their flavor a lot of the time when they're cooking is actually beneficial. Because it means more people are actually going to eat them. Because well, from the way you described that parsnip, that was not fun. From watching Raven force her way to eating that leek to the point that I'm pretty sure she nearly threw up at least one point. That didn't look like fun either. So I'm probably not going to be eating a raw leek. But I can definitely see that would be a challenge. So there is that. But yeah, the clip view, I'm gonna have to have a look for that, because I mean, I can definitely kind of visualize what that was like based on how you've described it. It's, yeah, it's there there are some foods that are just not great by themselves, and that's like the thing with the lemon, because like I thought it would be fine because like I'm fine with lemon juice and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's a difference between having a bit of lemon juice and biting whole chunks out of a lemon. It's a little bit different. Parsnip torture. Oh, okay. That is, well, accurate from the sounds of things. But yeah, that's, so I've made my follower goals ones that they're not entirely like, I'm not suffering through the whole thing, luckily enough. I guess it's like I still want to be able to enjoy it. Hence why like there's some that are like want to set up a Discord at some point. I've got like a basic thing set up, but I need to actually focus on doing that. And the Bean Boozled challenge could be good 50% of the time. But obviously I don't have a lot of choice in which 50% of the time I get with that. So there is those. And weirdly, well, not weirdly, it's, even though I set it to be like the end challenge for the follower goals, well, not end challenge, it's the top challenge that I've got written down so far, because I figured, given the time frame, like the top one that I have created so far is for 500 followers. I figure it's gonna be a while before I get to that point. I got some time to come up with more stuff after that, but my 500 follower goal is French maid stream, and I originally made that because I was like, oh, wouldn't that be funny? But then, like, in hindsight, I actually kind of want to do that. Like, that actually sounds like fun now. So I just need to get some stream appropriate outfits for that stream, because that's going to be the thing, I suppose, for that one. I don't really want to get in trouble for that, ideally, because, but you know, a standard outfit for that would probably be fine. So we'll figure it out. But I got time because I'm currently I'm at approximately 27 at the moment. So I've got a little bit of a ways to go before 500. So I figure I've got some time to come up with some new stuff between now and then. So we'll see how that goes. And that is unfortunate that I have to pause this song, because I do actually like this song. Because I just heard what started playing. And yeah, so I figure I probably should actually start playing the game, given that I did say that I was going to have a game in the title. So I should probably play one at some point. And I will, maybe. There's definitely been a few streams, especially when I like first restarted things, where I was like, I'm gonna chat until I feel like I want to do something else, and then I kind of kept talking, and then I looked at the time and I was like, oh, that's probably not really enough time for me to play stuff now. That's unfortunate. So that's one of time management is probably. I probably need to work on my time management in that regard, but yeah, we'll see how I go with that one. And because I don't know about you, but one of the reasons that I wanted to get back into streaming is that my current job has allowed me a little bit more of a stable schedule to work with. And I kind of want to play more games during that time, but I get full-on executive dysfunction when it comes to actually picking up a game and playing it. So I figured, you know what? If I play it on stream, then that's incentive for me to keep playing the game. And then, as I said, I just talk instead, and I don't actually get around to playing the game, which is not... There was a slight flaw in that plan, and... because I've got a few things going at the moment that I want to consider doing, like some, for example, Mass Effect. I played Mass Effect 2 at some point at last year. Why I decided to start in the second game and not the first one, I don't know. but I'm starting from the beginning, and I do that on my Monday morning / Sunday night streams because I was like, I like the alliteration of Mass Effect Monday. So I kind of and that also allows me to be consistent, at least, as long as I can wake myself up enough, because like my plan for streaming on those days is like, for me it's like 9 a.m. I think for you guys that's like 10 p.m. or something like that. But I have some medications that make me a little bit drowsy, but I take that the night before, and apparently some of them like to linger in the morning. So that's the other thing where I'm trying to be consistent, because I figure if I can be consistent, even with that exhaustion, I can make myself actually get onto the stream, form enough of a habit, and then bam, we have a pattern, we have a habit, and that is my hope, at least. So it's kind of working, because I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get back up to 3 streams. I say get back up to, like, I've never streamed 3 days a week. I'm trying to get to 3 days a week and then keep that happening is probably a better way to describe that. Because, yeah, it's fun. It's one of those things that I just have chronic anxiety, and there's definitely been a few times where I've like started up my computer, I've gotten everything ready, I've gotten all dressed, got, you know, the makeup on, and then I've just kind of sat there and just kind of staring at the screen, and then eventually I do that for too long, and then, oh, what a shame, it's too late. But at least I look pretty when that happens. So I can, I don't know, take some selfies or something at the very least. And timing wise, at least that has actually kind of helped a little bit in the, I've used that to my benefit, because, well, best way to put it, I live in a regional area, semi-regional. It's like just outside of Sydney, so it's not like out in like the woodlands, for example, but it's far enough away from the city that people might be considered a little bit more conservative, especially the older people. And there's been a few times where there's been days where I was like, oh, you know what, I'm going to stream. And then I don't. But I've got my face all made up. And so then I'm just like, well, I've still got to go and do my groceries, but I don't want to have to take off this and get changed. So fuck it. I guess I'm just going out dressed alternative today. And that, I think, has kind of worked in my favor, because I've kind of gotten more used to the idea of just like not giving a damn of what other people think when I'm like going out like that. Because it's like, as long as I think I look good, I don't really care what the other people around me do. So, like, they might think I look weird, I don't know. But I think I look good on those occasions, so I think that pushes me through it. So I've kind of used the fact that I didn't get around to streaming, and I've turned that into a confidence-building exercise. So we take the wins where we can get them. And so far, it's been helping. I mean, I still won't necessarily be doing this for work, because I'm pretty sure that, like, at least one of my co-workers is at the very least potentially mildly transphobic. They're not like outwardly rude about it, but they're also not subtle either. So that's the funny thing. Because like, I don't hide what I've like got going on. And like, no one specifically at work has commented on that. Yeah, there's like, they're just of that age group, I guess, the ones that are, like I said, they're a little bit more likely to be like not cool with it. Because I've had a couple of people come into my workplace, and they would be, I guess, probably the best way to describe it would be early transition. And my like my coworker was, polite to them to their face, but when that particular person left, they were like, "Oh, did you see that?" It was like, "Oh, what do you think of that person?" And I was like, "What do you mean, what person?" It was like, that man in a dress, and I was like, "I didn't notice." So it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm gonna leave you hanging on that one, because it was like, I know what it's like to, like, when you first start like changing how you want to present yourself. I mean, I will admit I have a little bit of an advantage in that I'm like technically non-binary, so I can keep things fairly androgynous without too much comment. But yeah, like I've never hid the fact for that is me at work, but we have like a particular dress code at work, so I can't exactly like flaunt things, for example, and hence why I use what little time I have off to showcase more of that, because it's fun. I like to I like to experiment with different sort of looks. I'm fairly happy with how this whole black lip thing is working. That one I didn't used to. I was originally a fan more of like the nudes and the reds and that sort of thing, and I still do, but they work for a very specific outfit. Whereas the black, I've found it's growing on me, and I feel like it works with more options from what I wear. Granted, like 75% of my wardrobe is black, so that probably goes with it. But it's because I have to get a little bit more creative with the fashion, because since I've like blonde hair, blue eyes, essentially, I kind of have to I kind of have to rely a little bit more on the fashion to showcase the sort of alternative stylings, because the blonde hair and the blue eyes don't really indicate that straight away. Although the black on the lips, for example, does provide a nice contrast for the hair, which I think works well, because I do have a fairly pale skin. Not like pale, because like I'm in Australia, so I've still got a little bit of a tan from that one, but it's definitely not a notable tan. But the so I've been experimenting with different sort of colors and styles, and I have a large wardrobe, because like I don't know how I managed to get it as like varied as it is, but because like I purge my wardrobe like twice a year of things that I may not have worn, and yet somehow it never seems emptier. So I'm not quite sure how that happens. I feel like I've been good I've been good at not buying too much for myself at the moment. I'm still being like not like I'm still buying things. It's just I'm buying more things for other people now as opposed to myself. So because like if I buy it for myself, I'm just adding more crap to my collection that I may or may not need. If I'm buying it for other people, then I'm helping. And my brain allows me to justify that. So it's a double-edged sword. But I'm hoping that means that eventually, like, my wardrobe will start actually getting manageable again. Because no matter how much I donate, it never seems to get smaller. But yeah. But I got a lot of different styles. And also because, like, I have, well, DID or something DID related, so dissociative identity disorder or one of its sister conditions. And because of that, I have a very hard time of, keeping a sense of self consistent. So having a varied wardrobe allows me to kind of work with that, I guess, because depending on the day, I might feel like a completely different person, and like what might work for me on one day might not work for me the next. So I like to have a little bit of variety, at least in that regard. So that kind of helps. Actually, that was just I don't know how I got onto the I don't know how I got onto the topic of DID related stuff, but as I mentioned before, I've started designing affiliate related things, and one of those was the subscriber badges, and I have a fairly consistent pattern for those subscriber badges, but there was one design that popped into my head. It doesn't quite go with the rest of the theme, but there's an altar in there. It's kind of a inner child manifestation, also known as littles. And they popped in with a little idea, and so apparently one of my sub badges will be inspired by that particular one. Doesn't quite go with the theme of the rest of the stuff that I've created for it, but it'll I'll find a way to make it work. But yes, anyway, I have been talking for how long have I been talking? About an hour and a half now, and I should probably play a game, because I did say in my title that I do play a game. Took ages to decide to go with a teacup. See, that's the thing. Like, I was thinking so like in depth when I was coming up with these things. I was like, what is my thing? I guess it's tricky, because like I've only really been getting properly back into streaming for like a month, maybe even less. So I'm just like, I don't know what my stream theme is, given that like I barely know what like my own internal deal is. I don't know what my stream theme is, but it's I've got one that I think kind of works in a way. I'm not really sure how to describe it. So sometimes the most obvious thing is best. That's what I'm hoping, because like the design that I've got, I don't have it, like I don't have any drafts like I showed with the emote earlier, but I have got it, like I've got the design written in my head, because annoyingly the idea came to me in the shower, and as it tends to be the case when things happen, if you leave things until like, if you have an idea in the shower, it's probably going to be gone by the time you are done with the shower. So basically, as soon as I got out of the shower, I just like furiously wrote down on my phone, I was like, this is what I'm doing with this, with this, with this, with this, with this. So at the very least, when I do actually get around to designing it, I have a clear description of what I want to do with it. Tea with me every single stream took over a year to make that connection. That's pretty funny, actually. Because yeah, like that's the thing. Obviously, like I've only just started, so I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with that one. Like I did make an emote pertaining to my little lemon challenge, but I'm just like, I don't want to make lemons my thing. It's like I can do that, but like lemons are like good in small doses. Lots of lemon is actually like, it's not great for it's not great to overdose on lemons. And so for like I made an emote for it, because the emote that I designed, like just the idea popped into my head, and I was like, I'm gonna draw that. And I was like, I thought it looked fairly funny-ish to me, so I was like, you know what, I'll keep that. That's good. But I'm just like, I don't necessarily need lemons to be my thing. So I'm hoping that it won't. But the fact that I made an emote for that does not help me in that case. So I'm like, I gotta figure out what other things I can do. But it's so my planned subscriber badges kind of more aligned with the whole dissociative condition thing, but only in a very abstract way. Like you wouldn't know it if you looked at it. You'd probably only know it because of the fact that I just said it. But it's that's a little ways off for now, because you know I've got to build up some stuff before I can get to that point. But I'm keen, because it's one of those things where it's like, yes, I may have chronic anxiety, and that has stopped me from streaming a couple of times. When I'm actually in the stream, like, I'm having fun. I've only had to ban one person so far. I mean, I think the auto mod has banned a couple of graphic designers, but but I've only personally had to ban one person directly. So that was so far so good. My friend has a Lipton peach tea iced tea emote from our early days, and the fun little thing. That does sound fun. I'm just trying to think, because like, I don't want to go too crazy with emotes like from the get-go, because obviously, like, again, I don't know what my thing is. And it's one of those ones where it's like the inspirational hit me when it hits me, I'm hoping. I'll show you one other one, because I made 4. Well, technically I say I drew 1, and I took 3 and converted them into, oh, that's cool. I like that. Oh, that was one from Blue. Ah, okay, cool. I've not actually looked at her emotes. That's surprisingly detailed. But yeah, I've had a couple of, so some of them were screen caps or photos that I have used to turn them into emotes, and one was one that I've drawn. The one that I've drawn, I'm holding off that until like I actually come up with them. But one of the other ones that I liked was, as I said before, my cat goes a little bit mental when it comes to the old treat sticks. This is her face immediately after eating one of those, and immediately before she goes on a zooming rampage around the house. And I just happened to get a photo of that whilst I was whilst she was in that whilst she was in that particular zone. And I was just like, I like that picture. I'm going to turn that into an emote. If you've got an expressive face, yeah, that's kind of how I worked in the cat emote one there, because I was like, you know what, that is a very unique expression for her, at least. I just saw that one from the second one you said there with the fear. I was like, that is a those are some good emotes. I like those. But yeah, like it's that's also kind of why I got the one for the one I showed earlier with the cringe emote, because I'm just like, that was a very expressive face for me. And so like, I think that could be a very multi-purpose GIF, or not GIF, maybe a GIF later. I don't know. I'm not going to invest my time in GIF emotes just yet. We'll start with the basics and then work our way up from there. I have to be able to use them first, other than just kind of showcasing them on my screen. I forget that I'm mirrored sometimes. Like, no, I am mirrored. I just had to think about that. Because it's because like that's mirrored. No, that was confusing. I feel like it's weird if I'm not mirrored, if like I'm moving to the left and then all of a sudden like the screen like up here is moving over there. It's disorienting. Whereas like if I'm moving left, that's my left. That makes sense in my mind. So like I'll keep it on that one. But yeah, so I have got some ideas. I've got at least the elements of some ideas for eventually, when things get to affiliate. I've got some ideas to at least start things. So I'm not completely unprepared. I feel like that's important. So what am I listening to right now? Oh, it's Lady Gaga. I forgot I had this song on here. So I'm just going to pop that on pause for the moment, and I'm going to play a little bit of a game. I don't know how long I'm going to play for, because I do still have to go to work in the morning, and I probably shouldn't go too crazy in regards to staying up too late, because I would like to sleep at some point. And I've still got another couple of days of work ahead of me before my next day off. So I probably will need to maintain some kind of sleep during that time. Now, I have played this game before. Oops, let's go to that one. And so the game that I am playing is No, I'm Not a Human. I just realized I will need to quickly change that one. Currently only 16 viewers on that particular category. That's fine. I actually need to get a shower as well, so I'm gonna leave you tabbed up. No, I appreciate that. You do what you got to do. Have fun, and I will most likely see you in one of the alternatives streams in the next couple of days. Like they tend to, unfortunately, their timing tends to mean that I'm heading into work just when they start. But you'll probably see me at some point in one of those streams. You're a stinky streamer? Naughty. That is naughty Jinx. So that's all right. You go do those. I will see you when I see you. And if I'm still on when you're done, I'll see you then. If not, I will see you in one of the other streams. I just realized I still never actually got around to setting this one back to actually play the game. Is it going to work? I don't know. It takes a minute sometimes, I've noticed. You're going to have a think? Later, husband. I will see you then. What is this game doing? It's been difficult. All right. Okay, now let's try that one. How about that? Okay, now. This game was not being this difficult the last time I played it. Apparently, it's just being a pain in the ass right now. So, eventually, I will get this game playing what it is supposed to be playing. And not just giving me a black screen. I would like the full game, please. How about that? There we go. That's what we want. Eventually, OBS does what it is told. It just needs a little coaxing sometimes. I've had a few updates for OBS that have been popping up recently, saying, "Hey, you need to be doing that." And every time I do that, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I've heard too many stories of people updating their OBS only to find that it causes more problems than it fixes. So I have not necessarily updated these more as recently as I probably should have. So now I have played a little bit of this on stream, but I am pretty sure I forgot to save on that particular playthrough, so I'm not 100% sure what this continue setting is going to load to. So I'm gonna do that. I guess we're going to find out in terms of in terms of what we're playing, because that could be from when I first tried playing this game, or it could be from when I played it last stream. If it does load from last stream, that is hopefully helpful, because I don't really want to have to restart. Like, I know it's not a long game, but I don't want to have to keep restarting it. So we will see. We're going to press continue, and we are going to find out just what I'm continuing. So fingers crossed. Oh, I keep forgetting how unsettling this music is. Now, who have I got here? Oh, of course, because it's nighttime now. What's happening here? Nope, no one's here at this point in time. That's probably promising. Which means I've done all of my people things tonight, so I guess I can go to sleep and then find out in the morning just who I've got in this playthrough. Okay. Good afternoon, here's the news. FEMA has taken new measures to address the ongoing... Okay, so I think this is continuing from my last playthrough. That is lucky, because I forgot to save in that particular playthrough. As of now, they have organized quarantine zones to detain potentially dangerous suspects. FEMA has also identified a new visitor sign after experimenting with those detained. Blood red eyes. According to reports, FEMA discovered this sign after observing detained visitors. They have some creepy photos. Noting the creatures have increased photosensitivity, causing their eyes to become inflamed and red. That's all for now. Stay calm and don't leave the house. A report on FEMA. First, a word from our sponsors. Okay, so... okay, this is just ads. Okay, so we can leave the room on that one. So, who have I got here? Okay, so... I found out in the meantime from my last stream, apparently the guy that I originally had in here and then kicked out to let this guy in, apparently he's one of the only few confirmed humans in the game. Everyone else is kind of just depending on testing. So I've kicked out one of the few useful humans in lieu of this guy who could or who may or may not be. And I have also found... Oh, who's this? Oh, it's the guy with the wires in his face. So, her. I've learned some things about her. Some from previous stream and some from some stuff after the streams. Hope this all ends soon. Are you okay? Don't come any closer. Thought you were going to kill me. Why would you think that? See, now that's the thing. I have since learned, no idea who's a visitor and who isn't. What if you're a visitor? Well, you kill me, skin me alive, peel it away. No, I don't want to die in agony. I'm not a visitor. It's just a matter of time. So, yeah, turns out she is one of the few guaranteed visitors, which is a shame because I liked her as a character. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to kill her because I've heard that as based on that last interaction, she's probably gonna freak out and start killing people because she's already kind of starting to realize that given that she's failed the last several tests, and I've just given her the benefit of the doubt in the previous interactions, I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and then unfortunately she failed all of those tests, and I found out later that she always fails those tests, and whilst she is a particularly unfortunate character, I kind of grew to like her, but then it turns out she's going to freak out and start killing people when she realizes that she's not human. So I unfortunately need to, yeah, see, that is, that's another visitor sign. No one's surprised about that. Yep. Sorry, love. I like you, but why don't I know about it? Is that how people turn into them? I don't know. Maybe it's enough to think you're not everyone else, that society hates you. I'm sorry, I like you, but I can't risk you killing everyone in my house. Maybe it's enough just to think you're not like everyone else. I know. I'm sorry, I feel terrible for doing this. I'm scared of dying, I know, and I'm sorry about that. I feel bad. Stop making me feel worse. Can you cover? Do I have something? I don't know, do we? Oh. See, I don't feel good about that. I got an achievement for it because she was a visitor and I knew she was going to be a visitor, but like the fact that they have to censor that is not great. How are you doing, bud? You just saw all that. You cut the stitches off your mouth. Oh, that's right. This person doesn't speak English. I don't think I can even like narrate this person, unfortunately. Because what is this? It's like this narration for you. I'm going to use Did you get that? I hope that made sense, because that was, you know, I'm not saying that again. Are you getting what I'm saying? A room seems like a cross somewhere between like Welsh and Russian. I don't know if this is meant to be like actual like transliteration or coded words or anything like that. I don't know. I just know this person does not speak English. I'm not having a stroke, I promise. Okay, I'm gonna need to test you. Okie dokie. Let's go with the teeth. Yes. Okay, they've got some kind of fucked up teeth, which makes sense given that they've spent most of that time prior to coming to me with their mouth wrapped in wire. You're probably fine. You can spend some time in the cupboard with the corpse. Have fun with that. I probably need to order food, I think. I don't know how that works exactly. But I got a code, I got a number for this, and I feel like I probably should use it at least once. So I don't actually know what it's for. You've reached Forest Food Delivery. Would you like to place an order? Sure. Yeah, can of coffee, please. Accept delivery by tomorrow night. Cool. I don't know what I just did. And alrighty. So, who else have I got in here? I've got a lot of people, and I don't 100% know. I don't like that one. I don't know why I keep accepting him into the house. I find him an annoying character. What about this fella here, Mr. Amogus? What did you do before the cataclysm? I'm glad you asked. Ever heard of sports betting? Oh my god. Oh my god, he is a crypto bro, isn't he? Are you a scammer? No, I'm not going to say that. No need to antagonize him from the get-go. How I made my living, bro. Placing legit bets is for chumps and bitches. Oh my god. There's always ways to cheat the bookies. I am having a hard time reading this guy's narration because he's hard to read. Like, I can read it, but I'm cringing internally reading it, and given that, like, I don't cringe easily these days, except apparently from this. You just bet on the tip and then kick back till the dough comes rolling into daddy. I don't mind people using daddy, but don't call yourself daddy. That's a bit, ugh. Especially, yeah, okay. No money, no problem. Just borrow it from some other fucked up. Oh, can I just kill him? How much do you make? 30 mil in debts. Okay, I would believe that. Definitely don't give a shit about them now. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, we're in an apocalypse now, so debt is probably less of a thing. Look danger straight in the eyes. Okay, cool. I don't like you. I'm actually kind of hoping he's a visitor, because whilst I felt bad about having to end that other one, because she at least was an adorable, kind of pitiable character, he just seems unlikable. I'm gonna test him. Teeth. I mean, they're white, but I can't tell if that's like visitor white or human white. They're a little bit fucked up, so that might be a human. I'll leave you alone for now, but you're on thin ice, buddy. All right, so time for some sleepy buys. Oh, I hate the nighttime. I hate the nighttime. Oh, it's a FEMA, I think. I'm assuming. There's probably not a lot of people walking around in hazmat suits. Good evening, I'm from FEMA. We're making house calls around your neighborhood, checking in with the residents. Why should I trust you? I can show you my credentials if it will put you at ease. Visitors rarely move in groups, maybe even never. Is that true? I'm gonna have to take your word for that. Why are you wearing protective gear? Should I have protective gear? No, but you could buy some if it makes you feel better. I would like to buy some. It would make me feel better. I just needed a Gamer Subs break. I was feeling dehydrated. We're still in the process of studying the sun's effect on the environment. It's important for us to be careful since we're spending so much time outside. Does FEMA have a plan? Of course, but we can't action our plans without proof. How oddly responsible. So we'll take one of the people staying here back to our laboratory. We'll have them complete a few tests so we can make sure everything's above board, then we'll send them back. So just wait for something to happen? Yes. Once we have more information, we will provide instructions. Okay, cool, because I don't really know who I want to suspect, but if I had to send someone for testing, it's probably going to be the dude bro in the kitchen. You have no reason to worry at the moment. Sure. To take one person and try to get back to you as soon as possible. Oh, look, there he goes. I don't know if that was because I was the last person I was speaking to, but I'm not complaining. Okay. Oh, good. It's my food. I will take that food. Thank you. I received some coffee. Have a good day. I don't know what I used the coffee for. Oh, I just got an achievement for ordering food. Oh, it's the girl. Okay. Hello. What happened? Your dad. Aww. I liked her dad. At least he wasn't terrible anyway. Why did they do that? I don't know. We're just sitting in with Daddy in the kitchen, and then they did something, and then they set the house on fire. When I ran away, I could hear them laughing. Sure. I'll let her in. I don't know if she can be a visitor or not. I don't know if there's like a height requirement for that. Oh. Okay. Not gonna lie, she caught me by surprise. But I vaguely remember I did get a visit from a man with a cryptic prophecy earlier, and he said to let in the person, something to do with letting in something with a cat. I was not expecting to actually have someone with a cat coming up to my door. Do you know the bald man? Is that the prophet? I wasn't paying attention. That was last stream. That might as well have been last year at this rate. Was it last year? No, it was last week. Sorry, I lose track of time. Too many questions. Yes. How will help you? How will help you? That's bad English. How did you find my house? Sea City, lived there. Saw your house, walk over here. Not hot here. You remind me of someone. Sure. Strange thing to say. Prove that you're a person. I am holding cat. Cat makes me person. 2 arm, 2 leg, 1 head. Means nothing. Not enough. Did I pass test? You open. I don't trust her, but she has the cat. And I'm pretty sure there was a person with a prophecy who told me to trust the person with a cat. So I'm gonna risk it. Come on, kitty. Time to run and enjoy. Oh, God. Oh. Sense the energy. Who's this? Energy here is stagnant. She's one of the less off-putting people I've had in this game. The fact that she is less off-putting is somehow off-putting. Something very bad is developing within. Sun and Leo are in the 5th house. I see it all so clearly. You're a pretty assertive person, aren't you? Sure. Can see you prefer to take action rather than talk. Typical Leo, am I right? Am I right? I honestly don't know. I'm a Virgo in real life, so I don't know what a typical Leo is like. That's such a stereotype, though. I was like, Typical Leos. You've accumulated a large amount of dark energy here. Yes, very unpleasant. Okay, where is my dark energy coming from? I have a lot of people in my house and one corpse. That's probably not helping now that I say that out loud. I don't understand the how or why. That doesn't help me. I feel so neglected. I should start with affirmations. Okay. There are prison guards in your prior incarnations. Okay. Give them space. You're just repeating the experiences of your past lives. You need to forgive them and accept their histories within yourself. Only then will you be able to break the chains of the endless cycle. Do you understand? I don't understand. But I don't think she needs to leave, but I also don't trust her. But then the only person I trust right now in this game is like the neighbor's daughter. And even then, I'm not 100% sure if I should be trusting her either. Ooh, such a dense, oppressive aura. Strong enough to poison the house. Doom! Doom! That is such a weird way for her to say that. I see it's a rash guy. Yes, there is a guy with a rash in here. We need to get rid of him. Ugh. Fine. I'll kick out the rash man. I don't know anything about him. I haven't spoken to him. So I don't know if this particular one is like a visitor or not. But I'll kick him out. Fine. There's a powerful current of positive energy flowing through your house. How convenient that now all of a sudden that I'm letting her in and kicking out this guy with the skin condition, all of a sudden my house is filled with positivity. She seems a little biased on that. No one else is coming. Thank God. That is so many people. Cat! I want to pat the cat. Gotta say, that is not helping the... It's already kind of a creepy game, but like, you can't pet the cat? That's not cool. Oh, hang on a minute. The daughter of my neighbor is here. Oh, I can't use my phone. Interesting. So I was going to see if I called the neighbor, who would answer? If there's an answer. Because, like, you know. Oh, someone died? What? You are watching the news. Due to a sharp increase in suspected visitor sightings, FEMA has announced it's enacting new protection measures. Effective immediately, a full quarantine will be enforced across all major population areas. Travel outside your city or to nearby villages is strictly prohibited. Please stay within your designated area. In addition, FEMA has revealed a new visitor identification procedure, hairless armpits. Well, I'd be screwed, because that's currently how I like to keep mine. FEMA reports that the visitors have no visible hair in this area, making it a useful identification tool. Agency is asking citizens to bear with the tests and comply with escorts to quarantine zones. So for now, stay calm. Next up, a report on what you can do if you spot a visitor. I don't look that way. That is not ominous at all. What the hell? Did you find that? That was weird. Okay, now can I use the phone? I'm gonna call my neighbor. Even though, based on the fact that the daughter said that he's dead, I'm not anticipating an answer. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Sucks to be them. Smells like dead body. Oh, good, she's gone. Okay. So, where did that dead body go? I didn't clear it out. Oh. What? There was a dude in here. Okay. I'm a little concerned. Where did the corpse go? And where did the guy go who is now replaced with garbage bags? That's not concerning at all. Okay, cat, I trust you. That is about it. Okay. Her I don't trust, but I do trust her cat. So, who is the person killing everyone? The girl's fine. What's your deal? How do you know so much? I'm not the one who knows. I am simply a vessel. Okay. Moon and Venus are in conjunction in the 6th house. It is written all over your face. You need not say a thing. I knew someone just like you once. He always listened but never spoke. You know what they say, if Jupiter is in the 8th house, it's better to stay quiet. It's a sign of closed doors. I don't know if I like you. Oh, darling, I knew your energy would resist, but let us do your tests. I shall see right through you. Well, we're not here to judge me right now. We're judging you. You know what? I haven't checked anyone's armpits yet. Let's give that a go. Okay, well, that looks like there's hair, so annoyingly, that means she could be a human. It's hard to take care of yourself under these conditions. That's fair. I know in an apocalypse, unlike in shows like The Walking Dead where everyone's clean shaven and shaved legs and all that sort of thing, realistically, after a certain point, it's probably not going to be a high priority. You're fine. I don't like you, but you're fine. What's your deal? Kitty is here. What more do you need? I trust the kitty. I don't trust you. Sure. Stare, sniff, what else? Oh, don't make it weird. Just because I'm looking at armpits. Don't need to make it a weird thing. Yeah. That is very much not. I kind of want to shoot her anyway, but that's more just because she's generally off-putting. What's your deal? Miss your axe is hard without a guitar. Damn straight it is. I remember our kitchen jams, amp on a stool playing half volume so the neighbors wouldn't call the pigs. After each song, some fucker would add in memory of so-and-so, that's it, no crying, no bullshit. Better to smash an old guitar than your own head. Back then, I really believed our sofa gigs would grow into something real. Shitty life, really. Heading out tomorrow night. Got somewhere I gotta go. Interesting. Okay. So the fact that he's ready to leave and the fact that he has armpit hair tells me he was probably fine all along. I still don't entirely know. I mean, I'm assuming the cat unveiled the basement, but I'm still curious as to where the corpse went. To her. Wish I could ask that guy what he saw, but he doesn't speak English. So, and this guy, what's happening here? Need to check myself. Maybe I'm a visitor. I don't know if that works. I don't know if people, okay. I didn't have these garbage bags here before. I'm assuming that is the body of the hippie that was occupying this bathroom before. So, that's not great. Can I look out here? I can't. It's too dark. Every time it's nighttime, I just get a little bit of anxiety. Because it could just be like the big guy. Oh no, it's FEMA. Okay. Running a routine inspection in your neighborhood. It won't take long. When will you what about the last inspection? Inconclusive. That's not helpful. Study the sun's effects more thoroughly. We need to take someone else from your household. Fine. Don't worry. They'll be fine. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Oh, he was actually fine. I didn't have a problem with him. If you are unable to immediately transfer a suspected visitor to a quarantine zone, issue them a mandatory appearance slip. Okie dokie. I've received a FEMA notice. Interesting. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, it's him. It's him. Ah! I don't like him. What did he say? The guy, the one in the suit. I don't know how to feel about him. Why feel at all? Everything's been decided for us. A blessing, wouldn't you say? Or do you want to fix it all by yourself? I'm doing what I can. What exactly can you do? Can you ward off death? Stop the floods, the fires, the decay? The only thing you can stop is a heartbeat. So, are you alone? I'm not alone. I got several people in here, and at least 2 of them I'm pretty sure are not evil. Still scrambling to survive in this new world, are we? Why? Dogs rule the world now, and only dogs survive here. You understand what I mean, yes? Things will never go back to the way they were. Life changed. You're falling out of rhythm. Next time we meet, things will be interesting. I don't like him. He's scary. Oh, it's him. Wonderful, the cat's with you. See? Something was to do with the cat. What to do with the one who brought it is for you to decide. Oh, good. I mean, she seems to be human. I just don't like her. How did you know about the cat? Why did you ask me to let someone with a cat into my home? A powerful entity awaits the cat's approach. What does that mean? It is thanks to she that my eyes reach far, but even I do not see all. One thing is yet clear, though. Something wicked this way comes. Oh, that is such a cliche. You cannot halt it. Perhaps they'll mention it on the radio. Will you listen? What am I supposed to do with that? Nothing. I've said too much. You have said nothing, except for save the cat. For 2 days yonder, testing portends doom. What does that mean? Halt your scrutiny until the 3rd sunrise. So I just have to leave people for the next 3 days and hope for the best? Okay, well, my current people don't seem evil, so there's that. If you can do that, my guidance can continue. Maybe it will bring you peace, or at least help you move on. I hope to see you soon. Oh, hello, sir. What's your deal? Whole world's gone Pete Tong, eh? What does that mean? Is that rhyming slang? Ah, this fucker's using rhyming slang. This ain't a society no more. The beasts have come out to play. Finally, no more holding back. Are you one of these beasts? We're all animals, mate. Keep denying it and they'll just eat you alive. Won't even leave the bones. This is the new world order. Might makes right. Anyone who says otherwise will be dead as a dog by morning. How many houses have you been to? I never stay anywhere too long. Fear blinds people to the bigger picture. You've still got a proper order here. It's a rare thing, Sunshine. I'm curious to see how you keep it. Fine. Got that cat lady stinking up the gaff, have you? Can tell their type a mile off. Wolf in sheep's clothing. Send them packing. I really hope this doesn't get rid of the cat. Power's the name of the game now. You can either roll with it or let it roll over you. Is the cat still here? The cat is still here, thank God. Oh God, okay. I was not expecting that. It's boiling out here. Boiling, I tell you. Are you okay? Why are you topless? And why are you sweaty? I'm not okay. Look at me. My damn skin's melting. Melting! Hotter than a tropical resort. I just need a cold soak. Why do you need my bathroom? I'm serious, boy. I don't feel well. I need cold water now. Drag myself all the way here for what? An upstart to turn away an important man? Why are you important? Who are you important to, sir? What do you know? Was a minister? Okay. If you say so. Make it worth your while. How? Let me in now and it's all over. I'll see you at a conference. We don't know when this is going to be over. Okay. Fine. See, set up appropriately. I don't trust you. One little bit. Okay. Oh, it's the FEMA officials inspector. Wait, what massacre? Taking all the dead soldiers' equipment and weapons. Okay, I think I missed something. Probably didn't expect the pale visitor to survive against a group of armed soldiers. Oh, good. Oh, good. He can survive an armed assault. That's exactly what I want to hear. A few more body bags. I haven't been checking that window for a hot minute. I'm kind of regretting not doing so. That was, okay, well, they said to listen to the radio. Apparently, I can't listen to the radio. Smells like who died? Who is killing people? Wildfires are now sweeping across forested regions. Experts believe abnormally high solar activity is to blame, while the full scale of the disaster remains unclear. Fire crews have been deployed to contain the blaze. Visitors continue to terrorize the nation. FEMA has announced a new identifying sign. Another one? Jesus. Aura film photography. Okay. Dark patches appearing on a captured image is a strong indicator they may be a visitor. Stay calm and remain indoors. Up next, a word from our sponsors. Okay. So, what is the deal? Why are you doing that? We got a problem. Why do you see people as animals? We kill, we eat what we kill, we don't lose any sleep, it's natural. But society, they put us on a leash. You happy with things? I'm glad people stopped hiding behind masks, but the sheep ruin everything. They throw on wolf pelts and play pretend, fake the instincts of proper men, skulking in the dirt or to come up and have a straight fight, not this cat and mouse bollocks. But if you build yourself a pack and you've learned how to spot the fakes, think a pack is better? You don't? Normal society, you'd never spot one of those sheep. Too much idle banter, too many rules, tangled up in a debate instead of doing what needs doing. That's why I'm having that alpha is vital. No questions, no votes. He says it, you bleeding do it. Alpha don't show weakness, only then does the pack survive. I'm gonna test you because I don't like your vibe. I don't respect that, sunshine. I'll remember that. Ew, what the fuck? Okie dokie, bud. It's a heck of an armpit. You might want to get that looked at, I think. I'm gonna leave you alone for the minute, but I don't like what I see. To catch the signal, do the left click, and I was not paying attention. Cool. Now. Apologies if I don't talk for a second. I need to be able to hear if any of this is coming through. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I feel like I'm not doing this right. Okay, this is not looking super promising. Oh, what am I doing here again? Turn the right knob. To do this, left click and hold on the right knob and move your knob is for adjusting the volume. It's on the left, still can't get a signal. Try changing the waves. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, hang on. I saw a word that actually made sense there for a second. Oh. I'm hearing words. Whether they're useful words is a different question. Okay, I'm getting annoyed now. Anywho, that's... Oh, I liked the neighbor's daughter. Oh. Okay, just for that, I'm killing this guy. He's getting one more test and then I'm killing him. Yeah, we got a problem. I'm gonna give you another test. Show me your damn eyes. Ah, his eyes are fucking normal. Ugh. Someone in here is killing the people that I like. And the hippie. Ugh. So what's your deal? I only have so many people in here. Alright, show me your eyes. Uh-huh. Bye-bye, darling. What the fuck was that? I just had like... Did you see that? There was like a flash of something. Kind of hoping that she was here. I don't trust any of them. Hi, cat. I can talk to the cat now. Pet the cat. Hard to tell if it likes it or not. Can I talk to the cat? Can I pick up the cat? Oh, he does not like that. Yeah. That was cute though. I didn't do the cat I like. It's basically the cat and the neighbor's daughter are basically the only tolerable people I've come across so far in this game, and the girl that I had to put down because she was a visitor. But that's unfortunate. She was always gonna have to die. I don't really have a lot of... Well, I do have to say in that. It's me playing it. But if I didn't kill her, she was gonna have a mental breakdown and start killing everybody else. So I don't know who to kill and to keep. But I do know if I keep killing people, eventually that big guy that apparently slaughtered the army is gonna come in and just go, hey, I notice you have no people behind you. I'm a bust through your door now. So, now that I've been able to pet the cat, it's getting kind of late and I have an early-ish morning, and I've still got a few things I need to do before I go to bed, because it is about 11 p.m. in Australia right now. So for anyone who may be watching, I hope you are enjoying the time here. My next planned stream is on, for me it's Monday morning. For North American people, I believe that would be Sunday evening. That is what my tradition, well, what I'm hoping to set up the tradition of Mass Effect Monday. So I will be playing Mass Effect, as you can guess from that, on my next stream. Otherwise, I will be doing, my plan is to get this time of the week consistently, and Wednesday night or Wednesday morning for people in the Northern Hemisphere, and doing that one again. I do have all of these up on my schedule if you do need to check in on that. If you are not currently following already, please feel free to, and then you will get those notifications to let you know when I am live. If not, I'm going to finish up. I hope you are all having, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening slash morning slash whatever time of day it may be for you. I'm going to go get ready for bed, and I will hopefully see you all in a few days' time. Catch you later, next guy. Yeah. Catch you next time, guys. I'll get it right eventually. But I was going to raid. You know what? We'll have a look. We'll see if anyone's on that I feel like raiding at the moment. It's late and my brain is not super focusing on the on who I would like to raid at the moment. If there's anyone on currently that people know, then let me know. Otherwise, am I following anyone who is currently streaming? There is a couple of people on at the moment. However, it is late. I am very tired. I don't know if I have the energy to jump into a new stream right this very second. But again, have a great evening / morning for whatever it may be for you. And I will see you next time. Keep it real, guys.